Today on A Road to Recovery, presented by Addiction Recovery Care, I'm here with Sarah Daniels, Senior Director of Clinical Operations. Thanks for joining me today. Kind of tell me about what you do at Addiction Recovery Care.
I am currently overseeing all of the clinical department. With Addiction Recovery Care, I manage all of the clinicians and making sure that services are being rendered for Addiction Recovery Care.
And now I know you deal a lot with mental health. Can you kind of talk to me a little bit about just how mental health and addiction kind of go hand in hand?
It's one of those things like when you start working with substance abuse, you always want to identify like what came first, the chicken or the egg, right? So a lot of times you are going to see a lot of those co-occurring disorders that we've seen really ramp up in the last 6 months here at Addiction Recovery Care, that we're servicing a lot of mental health needs outside of just regular substance use. And so I think that's something that we really pride ourselves on, is making sure that we're meeting that client where they're at, and whether that's with mental health or that's just with substance use.
And kind of talk to me about the importance of addressing those needs, because sometimes that has to be addressed before we even start tackling the addiction as well.
Absolutely, because if you only focus on the substance use, well, we can fix that problem, but let's like peel back those layers and really hone in on like, why did they start using? And a lot of times that's unresolved grief, that's unresolved trauma, and really focusing on making sure the treatment is person-centered around those types of things.
Can you talk to me a little bit about the treatment, how you really address their needs?
When a client enters Addiction Recovery Care, we complete what we call a comprehensive assessment, and on that kind of gives us like the overview picture of what we're really working with. And then they will meet with a medical provider, a psych provider, and then they will have individual services tailored to specifically treat that client and really hone in on the unresolved things that may have led to the substance use in general.
And how do you see these clients, once they really start addressing their mental health issues, how do you start seeing them? I mean, I'm sure you start seeing them thrive and grow.
Absolutely. It's like when you start seeing their growth and them kind of opening their wings and spreading, it's one of those things. It's like, they've got to hit the light bulb. And then you start seeing them really grow within that community, because it's like that weight is lifted off of them.
That's amazing. That's so much amazing work going on here at Addiction Recovery Care, for sure. Thanks for joining us.